What is going on, guys? Gaston right here from this new setup that I would appreciate that you let me know if you like it or you may want me to go back to the table. I'm trying different things. I'm trying to please your eyes with the scenery in the background. So we're right here at the studio. This is the cyclorama, and we got some of the lights turned on. Hopefully they're not going to turn out. So let's go back right into the news that we have for today's, guys. Now, remember back then we were talking about the A7000, you know, this is like over a year, maybe 2 years ago. The A7000 was being buzzed around being actually a camera that was going to have a different body, was going to be an APS-C camera. But then the A6600 came in and, you know, we realized that we got another alpha-like looking type of body. Super capable camera, and actually that's the camera that's filming me right now. Now, this news talks about a brand new sensor, and this brand new sensor is an APS-C sensor that Sony has a spec sheet lingering around. And we have some of the specs that we're going to share with you. The number one thing that we're going to share is the name, and as always, super confusing. We're talking about the IMX671AQR. What do you think about that name? What? What do you think? Too long?
Too many products.
Too many products? Why not name it like the Aurora sensor? It has to be a bunch of letters and numbers all the time. But anyway, now, the best part about the sensor is that the sensor is capable of 43 megapixel. And here out the second part, 8K video recording, and it's going to that 12-bit. Now, this is going to be really incredible and pretty much the first camera manufacturer with a sensor of that time. It's also going to have a stacked DRAM and 16-bit images and still. So this is going to be a really powerful APS-C sensor. Now, let's stop for a moment and really assess where we are at with all the news that we've been hearing and where the development seems to be actually shifting towards. So we have Canon, you know, that's the new buzz around the block, the R5, the R6. Canon is about to do a press release on July. And the same thing happens with Sony. Sony is about to drop some news in July. So Sony, chances are that they're going to be introducing the A7S3. But remember in our last video that you can check right here that we talked about potentially 2 cameras being announced. This also comes from the guys at Sony Alpha Rumors that confirms this. And a lot of us thought that probably that was the A7 IV, but chances are that Sony may actually introduce a super powerful APS-C camera, and there are a lot of reasons why, and we're gonna tell you those right now. Now, reason number one, the camera that's filming me right now is the Sony A6600, and I'm actually using the 16 to 35mm full frame lens f2.8. Now, that is the first reason, cross-compatibility between full-frame lenses with APS-C bodies and vice versa. APS-C lenses being cross-compatible with full-frame bodies. Now, if you actually put an APS-C lens on a full-frame camera, by default, the camera's gonna auto-switch it and go in crop mode. And if you put a full-frame lens on an APS-C body, you're just going to get, you know, the additional zooming result of the crop of the sensor. Reason number two, it actually relates to reason number one. Sony has a lot of lenses out there, and also there are a lot of third-party lenses manufacturing lenses, both for full frame and APS-C lenses. One of my favorite lenses to use when I travel is the Sigma Trinity, the 16, the 30, and the 56mm. And I also bring now my 16 to 55mm f2.8 APS-C from Sony, and I'm actually set, and my setup is fairly light. Reason number three, the price. Most of the time, APS-C lenses cost a fraction of full-frame lenses, and so are the bodies. The bodies also are very affordable. So now people can actually get a lot of those features and actually stack up in lenses without having to spend an arm and a leg. Reason number four, Sony has one of the biggest following when it comes to APS-C since the very A5000 till the recent A6600. So the fan base is there, the customers are there, those people have a lot of lenses for APS-C, and they will love to have a camera with such powerful capability. Now, would a body for a camera with this capability be more like a body of an A6600, or we may actually be going back to the history? And remember when we were talking about the A7000, that camera was actually rumored to be an APS-C camera featuring kind of like a full frame body. Now, that body makes a lot of sense for a camera with 43 megapixel and 8K, because we're talking about a lot of processing power, and a lot of processing power most of the time translate directly with heat. So having a bigger body is going to assist this camera to really enabled for the camera to cool off while providing us with these incredible features. So for these reasons, we think that the July announcement from Sony, it is indeed going to include the A7S III that has been much awaited by everyone, but chances are that we may see an APS-C camera first, such like this camera right here, let's call it the A7000 with 43 megapixel 8K video recording capability at a fraction of the cost. That would actually be a very smart move from Sony rather than actually launching the A7S III and then another full frame camera right after at the end of the year. We think that the A7 IV is going to be pushed by next year. And this way, Sony, it is going to differentiate once again from the competition and give a lot of the capabilities that the Canon R5 is promising to do at a fraction of the cost. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you want to see dropping first. Drop your comments down below, and as always, guys, keep it posted with the news. Make sure to subscribe to the channel for more content like this one. Until then, see you later.